Could have made the light, but we didn't. Hey everybody, this is Caesar with Small Engine Velocity coming at you with a moto vlog, and today is technically a story time moto vlog. I actually was sitting around, oh my god. I was actually sitting around doing nothing, and I read this news article on something that I thought would be cool to talk about because it sounds absolutely absurd. This thing takes place in Michigan, of course, my alma mater state where I was born, Detroit, Southfield, Detroit. Anyways, I thought I'd have a little bit of a conversation about it. But before we begin the story time, let's go ahead and roll that intro. Alright, now that that's done wrapping up, we're going to go ahead and start story time! Story time with Caesar, story time with Caesar. Actually, it's more like news. News time. Anyways, so I was reading this article online, and it has to do with a man who has a vehicle that is a standard, right? Standard vehicle. Very, well, maybe not so common nowadays. Of course, I created that video about how the standard is dying, so I guess it is a legitimate thing. So anyways, he has a standard vehicle, and of course, when you own a vehicle, you have to go get your oil changed. This man takes his, hold on, he takes his bike, he takes his car, which is a standard vehicle, to a shop to go get his oil changed. So he drops it off, leaves it there, he's sitting around and he's waiting for his oil to get changed, and of course he hears something and screaming and whatnot. Apparently during the course of this man getting his oil changed, someone has died. Now you're wondering, what does this have to do with a standard? Well, the 19-year-old kid who was a technician at this dealership, who, by the way, did not have a driver's license, took charge and got behind the wheel of a standard vehicle that he himself did not have experience using, much less a driver's license, but didn't have the skills, the proper skills to be able to use a clutch, a shifter, a brake, and all these other nifty skills that you lose. So he starts the vehicle with the clutch in, lets go of the clutch, and the car, of course, you know, like it's supposed to do, it lurched forward uncontrollably. I'm sure he had a little bit of gas behind it, and it hits a 43-year-old man who has kids under 4. He has been a mechanic for quite a while and is a family man, and he dies instantly, according to the article. He dies instantly at the place, at the hands of a young man who did not have driver's license and also did not know how to drive a standard vehicle, which to me is ridiculous. So, of course, you know, the family of the man who was killed wanted to get compensation, so they were going to, you know, try to sue the dealership. Well, I guess, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in Michigan, if it's between two employees, which is the driver and the guy who got killed, you can't sue the boss, which kind of makes sense because, you know, you're at work, but, you know, you got to draw the line somewhere. So they dug around into the law to try to see if they could get some compensation for this for the death of this man, and come to find out that the owner of the vehicle is the one being sued. Now that sounds crazy, right? Because all he did was hand these people the keys to ride his bike. I keep saying bike, and I'm so bike-centric nowadays. to put an, to get an oil change, right? Ridiculous. Well, come to find out, in Michigan, the law is tailored in a way where if you're doing something, you do not see me? Like, am I invisible? Anyways, the law is written in a way where if I loan you my car and you go drive and then you go kill somebody, you accidentally hit somebody and they die, they cannot sue you, the person who is driving. They sue the owner of the vehicle. If you give your car to a valet to park your car and they kill somebody, they sue you. So in this particular case, the young man who was 19 could not be sued, and they're suing the owner of the car for $15 million, which, okay, $15 million lost wages. I don't know how you calculate these numbers, but I know that they overestimate because they hope to get at least half or 10 or 20% of that. Whatever, makes sense to me in some ways, you know. So when they sue the guy, when they talk to the lawyer's like, yeah, that's the way the law is written, we can't do anything about it, this is the way we have to, this is the way the law directs us into suing people. So you're thinking to yourself, this is unfair. Well, there is another thing that the owner of the car can do. He can set up some kind of suing to the dealership, and it's a pending suing type thing. So what would happen is, if he gets found guilty of this man's death for the accident, then he gets to, then automatically his suit to the dealership would be suing for them to pay that that amount, that apparently that 14.9 million, because his car insurance has already paid $100,000 to this guy already, or the guy's family. You know, of course they're gonna, you know, the insurance. So how crazy is that? Like, no one would ever borrow my vehicle. No one would ever, like, borrow my car, my bike. No one would ever borrow anything, because I would be held liable for anyone who died at the hands of these people. Even if it's the most careful person in the world, you never know, and you're going to be the one responsible for it. And do you really want to, in turn, if they do accidentally kill somebody in your car, do you really want to have to countersue or sue, not countersue because that would imply they'd sue the people back, to sue your friend to pay for that balance towards paying off whatever that might be? That's just terrible. Tell me what you think about that. I'd really love to see some comments below. Just because and then you got to think about it. Why did this dealership hire this guy, this kid who's not even old enough, not even a licensed driver to work at this shop and can't drive standard? You know, if this was my car when I was getting my oil change, and because remember I made that video about how those people, when I was doing the inspection of my car, couldn't drive my car into the freaking thing because they couldn't drive a standard. Just imagine if they did that, he accidentally killed the actual technician that was doing the inspection. I would be the one sued. Crazy. So I really don't know what the resolution, I haven't really read anything past where it's sitting at right now, but to me this is about the most insane thing that I've heard of in a long time that has to do with lawsuits. And I can understand maybe why in Michigan they have that law tailored that way, because I don't know, because actually, you know what, I really can't understand why it's tailored that way. The person who's driving the vehicle should be responsible, because they're the ones who was A, drunk, 2, driving recklessly, 3, texting, 4, eating a burrito while driving, 5, riding with one hand like I'm doing right now, you know, any number of things. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you think about this. Go ahead and leave me a comment below. I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to you to help me finish this story. I may do a follow-up if I do hear anything later. Oh, we're going 36, 35. Whoa! can't do that on a turn. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. If you hit a like, let me know. And maybe I'll find some more news stories I can talk about the ridiculous laws when it comes to driving vehicles, bikes, motorcycles, or whatever that be. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.